JP, this is, I guess, 11 months in the making now from the vote in January to now. We will have our first state championships this weekend where the select schools are, in essence, in control of their venues. Let's start there with what you expected maybe coming out of that room in January and where we are now.
Well, honestly, I don't think anyone had any real expectations of what was going to happen in January. But when the select schools got organized and started putting things together, I believe what occurred was we just tried to find a great venue for our athletes. And luckily for Division I, Tulane is going to be hosting that state championship. We just got done talking to their assistant athletic director, and it is a fantastic facility. And they've rolled out the red carpet for us. We're excited about playing there, and it should be a great contest between Catholic High and Rummel.
As for the others, it's kind of gone all over the map, I know, with St. Thomas More choosing to play at home, and then Lafayette Christian's going to play at UL on Saturday night. And in Division IV, they've chosen to go back to the LHSA and play as part of the Prep Classic next weekend. Is it a good sign or a bad sign that everybody is kind of in charge of their own thing, and does it also suggest that maybe you need to be united going forward in some of these efforts?
I think ultimately what all the select schools want is unification of the association. I think the main issue that divides people is that there are 9 football state championships, and I don't think that helps with competition in our state. And to get back to a unified association, all playing under one umbrella, we play under the LHSAA right now, but not to have these two terms, select and non-select, how do we bridge that? How do we get back together as an association where Catholic High can go play West Monroe or Acadiana, and Zachary could play Rummel or Brother Martin or something like that? I think ultimately that's what we really want for the association, because that's good for the fans, it's good for the schools, it's good for the players. And so I think where people are playing this year, I think it can help get closer to that. So the fact that Division IV is playing in the Dome, I'm happy for them. The fact that Division I is playing at Tulane, that's outstanding. UL is hosting. And St. Thomas More, I guarantee you those people in Lafayette are going to have a great experience in that community with that state championship as well.
As you look ahead to the remainder of the year, how do you see things playing out with boys and girls basketball, baseball, and softball? Is it going to be a similar process, or will there be the ability to go in and preset some venues in terms of semifinals and finals in those championships?
Ultimately, I hope that in January the association gets back together and we create an avenue where basketball, baseball, softball, and girls basketball are back together in 2020. That would be the ultimate goal for everyone who's involved with the select schools. If that doesn't happen, well then we want to work in collaboration with the LHSAA to try to find venues earlier and make sure that plans are solidified well in advance so that fans can make arrangements, coaches can create schedules, and just give a better experience for everyone involved.
As you look back at this year-long process now, what things are you happy about that have happened, and what are some of the things that you might like to have seen done differently from the select school side?
From the select school side, I think that getting organized earlier would have helped. And so in January, when the decision was made, there was really no action all the way until May. And then in May, the select schools got organized, put an association together just to. And the Louisiana Select Association had 3 goals. The first goal was to unify the association. The second one was to organize playoffs. And the third one was to advocate for the select schools. Well, those goals are still strong. But since we didn't go through the LHSAA's process, we weren't recognized by the LHSAA. If all the select schools would have done that in January, I think the process would have been cleaner. So moving forward, unification is the ultimate goal. And I think we're getting closer to that every single day. If it doesn't happen, what needs to occur is just an organizational structure within the LHSAA, something of a championship committee or something like that, that can make sure that the venues and the experience for the kids that are involved in them from a select school side is of excellent caliber. Now, what has happened this year? The championships in football will be of excellent caliber for those athletes, fans, and communities that are involved. And I want to personally, from Division I standpoint, thank Tulane because they have rolled out the red carpet for us. That is one of the newer stadiums in the state. It's fantastic. It's got tons of bells and whistles. It has turf field, and it's going to be a real intimate affair for our fans and players.